Hello and welcome to my project Screencast for my project in TDDD27 Advanced Web Programming during spring of 2025 at Linköping University. My name is Karlsson and this is my project Budget Finder. And I will go through my project, how it works, what you can do and so on, and some difficulties I experienced and how I fixed them, figured them out. So let's get straight into it. It's a simple website where you can create budgets or you can find budgets for your lifestyle that anyone can create and you can save and so on. And this is a homepage. Just some information, a logo, a navigation bar and so on. So let's not waste any time and go through these. We can start of course with creating an account, which is a logical first step. Go to .email and you cannot create an account with only one password. They also need to match, of course, and so on and so forth. Now we've created a user. And of course you cannot add a user that already exists or so on. It won't let you, obviously. Now let's sign in on this new account I created. And just like that, you're signed in and you get to your profile page. Your email, your username and so on. You can change the username. Maybe I want to be named Hello123 or something. And it's updated. Or maybe I want to name myself Karlsson, but it won't work because it's already taken. But then I change my mind, go back and so. You can change password. You need to double check with the old password and it's incorrect, but it will let you otherwise and so on and so on and so forth. You can change a little bit of your profile data if you want to. The home page when signed in is still the same, however the search results are a little bit different, which we'll come back to later. For now, the important thing is going to the budgets page. Here, my budgets. Right now there are no budgets, so of course it's a new account, so let's create one. New budget. Like that. And you created a budget. And holiday budget maybe. And then you have another budget. And you see they're always created as a private budget, which is because, well, if you don't want people to find your budget and so on, you probably want it private. You should yourself choose to make it public if you want people to see it. But then, maybe I didn't want a holiday budget now, I'm not going on holiday yet. So let's only work on the new budget here. But in here, you can see you can change the public and so on, back and forth. The public, yes. You can set, from previously, some income sources. Add some expenditures and so on from so on. Or I accidentally wrote something wrong, you can delete it and so on. Here you see these you can go into. It's a link or a button which brings you to another budget, basically a budget within a budget. Because maybe you want to split up it. Food is not too similar. I budgeted 1,000 for food. So then I want to add specifically like cucumber 122 or so on. And you can also change the total amount we throw in here, and it changed out here as well, and so on. And maybe I want this public, but it won't work because its parent is not public. So create that public first, then this one, and it will work. And secret ingredient maybe 12 ingredients as a budget. And this is private. This should be private as it's secret. And you add a keyword. This is to make it possible to search for your budget. You can maximum add 10. You have some information here. And let's put test and add my other account as a editor. You cannot have someone be an editor and a viewer at the same time. It won't let you. You need to first delete them and then add them to the other page. But let's keep it as an editor for now. And now we can go into the search bar and search for test here. And there's the budget. No reviews yet. I cannot add a review as it's my own budget. But yes, as the public viewing of the budget, you can go into the public ones, but not the private ones, of course. You can see it like this. Maybe I want to search for someone else's budget, so I search for some. Here we have a few budgets. You can decide the order of where things will be presented to you, but I think this is awesome, maybe. Awesome. Post it like that. And then it will also be seen here, that is on the top. Maybe I thought this was alright. And maybe not 4 or 5, but a 4 this time. And then this will be averaged out to 2.5 and so. Yes, so that's the public viewing of the budget. But now I want to show how it works with the editor mode. This one that I invited here. With this I invite to another one, like no, I leave that one. And you see editor role, and here we see the same budget. And the interesting thing here is, the important thing of course as well, is that the updates are always live. So when it happens on one screen, it happens immediately on the other as well. And this goes for everything. Hello, 12. It goes here. I can put this to public, and it gets public over here, and so on. So yes, it goes both ways, live updating, which is done by Sock.io. Another place where this also happens is here. You're not signed in, or you can be signed in as well, but no, I'm not signed in. I just wanted to show the search functionality. If you look at the budget while someone is editing it, it's also live updated like this. It's great. So everything is live, and you can see it like this, go through it. But with not the update, you can obviously not do too much. But let's show now what you can do. Now I delete myself as someone that can. It was this one. Now I can't. It's gone for me. So, but now let's search for a budget. I think this one looks good. Good. A review or something. But we have this button. You have the same budget. First of all, make sure you see that one is private, one is public. And this also mentioned very clearly that you can only save the public parts. So it's saved now to my account. So let's now go to my account. And here you have saved a snapshot of this budget as it was when you saved it. This will not change because you saved it in something you liked, and then it should be changed, except for if you save it again. So if you save the same budget twice, let's say I go back and save the budget again, oh, it's not that budget, the same budget again, like that, and you save it, then it will replace your old one with a new. But this will not then be updated like that, you will have this one. And if you now want to work with this budget, but it isn't perfect like you want it, and of course, first of all, the private parts are not saved. But yes, you want to save this. Great. It's great. You save it. Boom. Now it's added here, the new budget. And as you see, it's got the same information as the save budget did. But you can change it yourself and work on it how you want. So you know how this budget as a basically the base and can work on it best you want. Maybe I want to add this new from as a viewer. Let's go back to the new account here. You can then, let's go to profile, my budget, the viewer role. Now you can, as a viewer, you cannot edit anything, obviously. You can only view. But the updates are still live, like that. You don't need to update anything or so on. And that is the entire program. Now, to the second part, which is difficulties and so on, which the first one was actually the like recursive budgets, that do kind of budgets in budgets, and how to fix that solution, because I cannot just create more and more pages. You cannot make infinite pages. But doing some research, I found on Geeks for Geeks, I think, first of all, and also read more about it on Next.js' own website. It's the catch-all route that Next.js have, and I used the standard one, which is just putting where the page code is located in a folder. Name the folder with square brackets, ... and a name. I just use the standard name for everything. Let's use this functionality that is slug. And then use the useParams function to get the slug from the useParams, which is then saves the URL slug, which the slug in this case would be this, saved as an array, which then can be reconstructed into paths and saved to database and so on. So basically the paths are used as a key for me and are always unique, which I added through rules and so on in the backend. And it works very well. And of course I have a last updated as well, that's updated live. I forgot to mention it, but it's such a small detail. But yes, this fixed all of my problems after some work on also how to save it and so on. But I found a solution that worked well with this. The other difficulty I had was the live updates. I didn't first know how to do it, and I found through some research that Socket.io could do this for me very well by basically creating a room that you walk into when you go into a budget. So everyone that joins that budget joins the room and they listen for updates. As updates come, it gets immediately updated for everyone and so on, which also worked very well by watching some YouTube videos and so on, explaining it for me. And this is also where I got some severe bugs, which both some researchers and also AI helped me solve by just trying to figure out why it didn't work. And I realized I missed some very important parts. But yes, it worked well in the end by doing some normal debugging basically. And to the last part is basically the Next.js itself. I've never worked with React, never worked with Next.js. So the first couple of weeks of this course I spent basically completely just researching, learning, and so on and so forth, how to do it. And I think that worked well in my favor, and I got the tutorials really helped, especially the one on Next.js' own website. And yes, everything now works as I wanted it to. And that's my project Screencast. Thank you so much.